Hey, good morning. My name is Ram Posham. I'm a cloud architect at Oracle, and I would like to give you a quick overview of Oracle data platform and how Oracle Database 23 AI, which is the latest generation of the database technology, can not only process data, but also it can be used for modern generative AI applications. All right, so that's what I'm going to cover, and I have a framework using which you can try uh, a demo very, very fast. So that's what I'm going to do. But before I do that, I just want to provide a quick overview. Uh, first, just a couple of minutes, I want to provide a quick refresh on Oracle Modern Data Platform and then get into what are the large language models offered by Oracle Cloud Infrastructure today. And then there are two types of how you can use a large language model. One is with context, other one is without context. So I will go through that, and then I will show you how an autonomous database 23 AI can be used for developing retrieval augmented generation applications. All right. Uh, what is the architecture of the demo? And then I will provide you a couple of recommendations to try these things yourself. All right. So first, uh, Oracle Modern Data Platform, what it is. Essentially, it's a platform uh, for meeting some of your business goals. Right? As business strategy evolves, you may come up with uh, your uh, you may come out with a bunch of outcomes that you're looking for. Like you want to grow the revenue, you may want to forecast accurately, and you may want to reduce the operational costs and so on, right? So you you basically have a business strategy that says, we need to achieve these things in the next 6 months or 12 months. Now, it is possible that you may have all the data that is required in your existing databases. And if it is Oracle database, then you should be able to meet most of these requirements, most likely, right? But so if that is the case, then you can use Oracle Analytics Cloud, which is a cloud service to analyze your data and produce dashboards uh, and executive reports and so on, right? Those things you can do. Other things is if it is even complex requirements, then you can use Oracle AIML, Gen AI, data science capabilities. These are all the services that are available within Oracle Cloud. So maybe if you can meet your requirements with this one, that's great. But it's possible that you may have to pull the data from your operational systems, your business applications. So for that, you need tools for that. So Oracle provides two tools. One is for application to application integration. Other one is for data integration. So there is something called Oracle Integration Cloud Services. There is also something called Oracle Data Integrator, and Oracle Golden Gate is another one. So Golden Gate is for real-time integration and so on, right? So I'm not going to go through the details of that. Now, as you analyze the data, you may discover new data insights or data products. And using those data products, you may want to build some applications for your end users, right? It's possible. And for that, we got several tools. And one of my favorite tools is a tool called Oracle Apex, which is a low-code tool. The other one is obviously these days we are talking about bots. So there's a thing called a digital assistant that you can use for building those applications. And there's also, if you want to develop a microservices-based application, you've got Kubernetes. And there is another tool called Visual Builder, which is a rapid low-code development tool. So those are the tools that you can use to uh, present these data products to your end users. The next thing is, once you discover these new insights, actionable insights, you may want to uh, share them or pass those insights into your operational systems. If they are SaaS applications, you may want to share them with this. Now, in any company, obviously, it's not just Oracle. You may have other technologies that you may use. For example, you may be using Informatica or Kafka. By the way, we also provide Kafka compatible cloud service within Oracle Cloud. But if you have your own Kafka implementation, you can use that. And if you have third-party applications, you can use them. So the idea here is it's not necessary that you have to rip and replace what you have today. Oracle Cloud can coexist. Oracle technology can coexist with your existing infrastructure. All right. So the message here is Oracle can meet you where you are. Now, I will be using this thing called autonomous database. What is autonomous database? Autonomous database essentially is an Oracle database which is used by thousands of customers around the world. We call it mission critical database, and now we call it converged database. The reason is it supports multiple data types, uh, multiple types of workloads. It could be transaction processing, it could be data warehousing, it could be document management. All kinds of workloads are supported within Oracle database. So that's the mission critical database technology. And the second part of autonomous database is it runs on high performance engineered system. This is a technology called Oracle Exadata, which was it the first version came in 2009. So you can say it's about 15 years old, very mature technology. If you're looking for extreme performance, this is the technology that customers use around the world. And the same technology is used for powering autonomous database. All right. So you get all the benefits of performance, scalability, availability, all that. And so there are a lot of benefits, right? You once you use autonomous database, you never have to worry about patching, scaling, backups, and so on. So it's just provision the database, you set up those, just specify those requirements, and that's all. It's fully managed database. You never have to uh, worry about other things. You just focus on your data. And this is built using, this is managed using many, uh, best practices. And it comes with several tools actually for data ingestion and data analytics. There are many, many things that it comes with. And that's what Oracle Autonomous Database is. So autonomous database has all those capabilities I just described, and on top of that, it has got auto ML capabilities. So if you want to do machine learning workloads, it has something called auto ML. It will try different algorithms and present you the best algorithm that meets your requirements. So then you got generative AI, which I'm going to be covering. The spatial and graph has been there for many years, and there are a lot of tools and, for example, data ingestion, the graph analysis. And so there are a lot of tools that it comes with, and it also comes with a tool called Apex. So that's a low-code app development tool. Now, very briefly, there are several large language models that we provide in OCI. Number one is Llama. This is from Meta. This is open source based. There are many models actually. One is a 70 billion parameter. There's also 90 billion parameters. You can check it out. The second one is we also have a strong partnership with a company called Cohere, and they provide several models. So something called Command R plus. So if you want to have, uh, uh, if you want to develop RAG applications and essentially uh, kind of chatbot applications, this is very, very useful in the sense you want to provide large context for your queries, for your applications, then this is the model that we'll be using. Then the next one is Command R model. Then there are also a few other models. So I'm just, and the third one is embedding model. So if you want to translate a piece of text or any image into a numeric representation, you use something called an embedding model. So we have these models in OCI. Now, very quickly, there's something called out of context. Uh, so when you use a LLM, you don't provide, you just ask a simple question and then the question directly goes to the LLM. This is pretty much like Chat GPT. So ask the question, goes to LLM, and you get the response. So you can do this using the LLMs that we provide inside OCI, right? That's one use case. The other use case is where you want to customize, not you want to customize, you want to, when you ask a question to LLM, you ask the question, but you also provide the context. For example, let's say you want to ask a question called who are Oracle database product managers. I mean, for example, I would like to ask that question. Now, when I go to Chat GPT, that's not going to provide the names and so on, right? Whereas if I provide my employee database with their profiles, so I got the employee table, along with in every row I got the employee profile, and if the profile contains who are the database product managers. So first thing what I do is in my application, I search my enterprise data. All right, find out who are the product managers. So there's something called similarity search, or it's also known as vector search. I get the context. So these are the uh, uh, some of the product managers that meet your that are close to your question. Then you pass that context. Say, hey, LLM, who are my product managers, database product managers, and these are the product management profiles. So you pass those profiles to the LLM, then the LLM is going to use that as a context, and it provide you a very well formatted response to you. And I'm going to show you how that works in my demo. Now, during the demo, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to be provisioning a 23AI database uh, in the cloud. And then uh, I'm going to, let's say in every enterprise, you are going to have a bunch of documents that may be stored on object storage, right? So that's the documents could be in doc or PDF or text format or XLS format. So for these documents, what you would be doing is first thing, and you may also have the enterprise data. I was talking about the employee table. So you may have an employee table with a column called profile, let's say, and that has varchar data, which is unstructured. So you got unstructured data outside the database. You may also have unstructured data inside the database as part of your enterprise data. Then what you're, and within 23i, we also you also can load a mini LLM. It's an embedding model for translating text into vector representation. So we're going to load that into the database. Then what we will do is we will convert, we will not convert, we will chunk these documents and get the vector representation using this embedding model that is available for, so we are using this model inside the database. You pass a piece of text and it gives you the vector representation. So what we are going to do is, as part of this process, we are going to take these documents, create the chunks, and for each chunk, we are going to create a vector representation. And we are going to store the chunks and their vector representation in a table. So I call it a metadata table. That's what we're going to have here. And I'm going to do the same thing for this enterprise data, because this enterprise data for this demo, I'm using an employee table. So for the profile column is a varchar2 column. So what I do is I chunk that and get the vector representation, and I'm going to store that in this metadata table. All right. Now, then I'm going to be having a LLM outside the database. So in my demo, I'm going to be using Cohere. Actually, I'm going to be using Llama. And I also have developed a small Apex application here. So when I ask the question to this Apex application, what it does is it takes that question, it searches this, it converts that question into a vector representation using this LLM, right? So it takes that question, converts into a vector representation, and searches this vector data, this metadata. Hey, what are the chunks of data that are close to my question, right? That's called the similarity search. So it gets all the chunks that meet this requirement, the closest uh, chunks, and then it takes the chunks and then it passes that chunk to this LLM and gets the response, and you get the answer back to the end user. So that's what we are going to be doing in the demo, and we are going to do it from start to finish. Start from creating the autonomous database and all the way going to uh, loading this application and running these queries. All right, so let's do that. And the data model is going to be something like this, right? After I create the autonomous database, I'm going to create a bunch of tables. So there's going to be a table called docs, and the docs will have ID doc path. That's going to be the path in the object storage. And this is the uh, uh, document source. Basically, it's a uh, object storage, or it could be a database. So the path is the folder path, and then what is the name of that particular document? It could be a database. Sorry, it could be an unstructured document, or it could be a schema. So you will see those things. So that's the docs. Then there is a employee table. This is for the demo. I create an employee table with few columns, and I also have a column called profile, which is a war chart. I'm going to be showing you just a dummy data, and there is a document ID. This is a kind of cross-reference. So the chunk data is going to be stored. No, just the reference is going to be stored here, and the chunks of that particular profile is going to be stored here. So every document that we have in the object storage or in the profile, that's going to be chunked, and all the chunks are going to be stored in this doc chunks table along with their embedding representation. And there is a table called GenAI configuration. This is just a configuration table. So we will talk about that. All right. So let me go to the demo. But before I go to the demo, I would say, to learn more about this, you sign up for the free tier, and then you want to try this demo. I'm going to share these documents with you. And to use the LLMs, actually, you will have to upgrade your free tier to paid tier. And if you want to know how much it costs, actually, it's pretty inexpensive. I've been using this for the last couple of weeks, and I might have used maybe 100 times, and the cost was not even 20-30 cents. So just keep that in mind. It's not very expensive, particularly the on-demand service, right? You don't have any dedicated. This is charged based on how much is your query size and how many times you use it. All right. So with that, let me go to the demo. So here is I logged into my cloud, and I'm going to create an autonomous database. So let me create that. So actually, before that, let me just show you. You will be, to do this, what you do is you just follow the steps that I documented in the spreadsheet. I'm going to be sharing this. So what you do is you ask your administrator to create a tenancy. Maybe if you already have the tenancy, and the tenancy administrator can create, uh, you know, uh, this is the tenancy name, and in what region it is, and what is the identity service that you're using, or identity domain. And this is the compartment. Let's say the administrator is going to create a compartment for you, and he or she is going to create a group, and within that group, we are going to have these group members, and we are going to be logging in as one of these members. And the administrator is also going to create a bucket, the object storage bucket, and the administrator is going to create a policy to let these users create objects in the object storage, upload documents, things like that. And also, this is for enabling these users to create the autonomous database, and this is for using the generative AI services. So You just need to ask your administrator to do this for you. And after that, you create the autonomous database, you just make a note of these things, right? So I'm going to be making a note. I'm just going to this. So you see, I'm creating this autonomous database in this compartment, and I'm going to give a name. So let me just give this name just for the demo, right? And it's going to be free tier. I'm going to be using free tier, and the password is going to be just this one, right? By the way, you can enter whatever password you want. I'm just copying and pasting. So this is more like a framework, right? You use this for running this demo. Then you just say create, and you can control your access. So I can say I just want to access it from my home. Then you say this. All right. Uh, Let me see. I don't have. So let me pause this for a second. Okay. To your database. Hmm. Oh, hi. So let me continue. The mistake was that I was in a different region. I was not in Ashburn. I was in Chicago, and where I don't have quota there. Okay. So anyway, I'm back here. So same display name, database name, same thing, just to make it simple. And transaction always free. And I forgot to choose, I think, the database version. So I need to choose 23AI. And the password is this. So let me just paste this password and secure access, my IP, then create. Okay, this should work. All right. So that was the problem. I was in a wrong region. So let me, so this takes 2 to 3 minutes or so. In the meanwhile, let me go through this, right? So after the database is created, uh, by the way, these are the input parameters. And we are going to create a user, right? Within the autonomous database, there is a user called admin. It's a kind of super user. And after that, we are going to create a user. You can enter any name, but I'm just entered as vector user. I could say a rag user, whatever. And then we are going to download the wallet. To access this database, you need to download the wallet. I will show you that. And we are going to store it in a particular directory. And this is going to be the path for that. And then we are going to use for the demo uh, application express. So this is the link. This is going to be the link for that. But again, this is not the correct link. After we create this database, I'll show you how to. There is a actually this is the thing. There's going to be a link available here. All right. So so we have to just wait for that, and after that, then we are going to create. I'm going to use SQL Developer uh, to uh, to run some of the scripts, right? So I'm going to. So I recommend you to use Oracle SQL Developer. You can use the SQL web tool also, but SQL Developer is pretty convenient actually. So I would use that. Uh, then, uh, then what you do is you create this user vector user, right? So this is how you say create user. Uh, and as an admin, after logging in as admin, you create this user. So this script is generated for you. For example, if you change the username as, let's say, rag developer, something like that, then the script is going to be changed here. You see this one? This has become a rag developer automatically. So that's what I'm doing here. So let's go back to here. So just to make it simple, I call it vector user. Now you see this database is created within 2 minutes, and then let's download this wallet file, right? So download here, you enter the download wallet here, and you can enter any password here. That's not, it doesn't matter what password you enter. Uh, So download this. I'm look at this. So, uh, so here is the password file, Olex, and I'm going to copy to this my demo directory. So this is my demo directory. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to copy here. So that is that's the wallet for that, right? So that's number one. Number two, this is the Apex link. We'll be using that later. So here is the one. You go here and say, how do I? So copy this and just paste it here. So that is done. Then the next one is SQL Developer. So I'm going to start up SQL Developer here. So let me, actually I already opened this, disconnect. So now what I do is, see this one, if you say, I already created the connection for you, but let me show you how the connection need to be created. This is a connection name. You can enter any name. This is the username. This is the password. And see this location. This is where the wallet file is located. All right. So that's the wallet. It's a complete path. And then you can test this connection. Yeah, so that works. So connect to that. So you got the SQL developer. So let me close this. So this is the admin user, right? So what you do is you go to, so let me bring it to the left here. Now, so that is done. Then create a demo user. So what you do is you just copy this entire script. I mean, all the way. You can review this script later, but it's very easy. I mean, essentially, you create the user, then grant the required permissions. You also grant the user to access, to use this as a resource principal. What that means is actually, uh, what here is the one, yeah, resource principal. So we are allowing the autonomous database to access the OCA resources. So that's what enabling resource principal, that's what it is actually. So copy all the way here and paste it here, okay? So now you just run this, you click here because it's a script. So it's very simple. So the vector user is created and we are enabling the, all right, so that is done. So it also does the verification at the end. The next one is create a connection for the vector user. Actually, so if you see here, so this is already I created just to save some time. This is the vector user name and the same directory where I have this wallet file, right? And you can test the connection. So that is done. So I have, so now I create a, from here onwards, I don't need the admin user, by the way. So I can close this window. So now I am going to be working as a vector user. So now I'm going to be creating this creating the object storage credentials, right? So now how do I do that? So here is the way. So what you do is you go to here and you go to this user, all right? And then there's something called authentication token. And I did create, actually, the way you do it is you can just go here and say demo and say generate the token, right? And you can see the token here and you can say show and you can copy that. And just for this demo, I can paste it here. So that is the my API token. All right. And my credential name is going to be this. You can change it if you like. Close this. And then what you do is now the script is generated for you. See this one, it's automatically generated for you. So just copy this from here to here. And then I'll go back to the SQL developer and say, create my, just control paste it. So now you just create the credential. So the credential is created. Now you want to test the credential. So there is a file. This is the directory. This is the folder where I have my documents. So if you want to see that, so go to object storage, buckets, and in this particular compartment, I got a bucket, and within that, I got a folder. So business documents, right? So if you see the object details, see this one, this is the link all the way to here. So that's what this link is. If you see this, essentially, actually, I should have that link here somewhere. Here, this is the one. So I copied and pasted the object storage link here. This is exactly what this one is, all right? Up to the business document. So if you want, I can just copy this and go here and paste it here. Okay. Oops, what happened? So let me copy this, and go here, paste it. So that's what this link is, right? And then now you want to test the credentials. See this one, what I'm doing, I'm defining this variable, and let's see whether this works, okay? So close this. So that's where I have this file, and I go to SQL Developer and see whether my this credential works. So I'm going to run the script. See this one, this file is here. So if you upload any other file automatically, for example, if I upload this one to, let's say, for example, I upload something here, right? Account number or something. I just, all right, upload it here. And if I go back to my SQL developer, you should see and run this thing. You should see those two files. See that one? So anyway, I just wanted to show you that and close this. I don't want to keep this file here, so let me delete this. So that is done. The next step is test SQL. Now, whenever you create an autonomous database, it comes with a demo schema called sales history, SH for short. So if you want to just, and these are all read-only schema. I mean, that's a kind of public schema actually. SH is a public schema. That means other users can access the data. So if you just want to play with it, you can go to SQL Developer and control paste all this, and you can run a bunch of queries on that, right? So if you want to run, so you just, all right. So those are the other queries. So now create a generative AI profile. So for using Gen AI services, you need to create a profile. So here is the Meta Llama that I'm going to be using, the model LLM. You can use any other model. So this is all the yellow fields, by the way, you're supposed to enter data, right? And this is the profile name. And you can change this if you want. And this is the script. And now I'm going to be doing some select AI queries. So that's why I'm using the SH schema. And this is the Chicago region where I'm going to be using the Gen AI services. So you copy this all the way from there to here. So then you execute this script in here. All right, and then you say execute the script. So that is done. Then if you want to test, oh no, you need to set the profile before you run anything. So that's what you do. Now let me copy this entire code here. So this is the way you set the profile, but every time you create a session, you don't want to do this. So you want to create a login trigger, right? So this is a login trigger. So I'm just going to execute the script. So that profile is set, but for the next time when you log in, this will be automatically setting it. You don't have to set it again. So now test the profile. So here, now you can, from the database, you can ask these kind of LLM queries. So you're using a database as a pass-through mechanism for running ChatGPT kind of queries. So you just say, hey, what is autonomous database? So now you will be able to ask these kind of queries. Now, later we are going to run these queries, right? So now this is select AI queries. So you can just copy this. So this is what uh, the response is, right? So if you want to see what this response is, you can see that's what the response came back. All right. Now let's run some select AI queries. So if you say select AI, list top 5 customers or list 5 customers. So you just see that it's going to, the autonomous data is going to pass the profile to the LLM and says, yeah, these are your customers, right? This is your customers table. And if you want to say select AI, show SQL actually, if you run that, it's going to show you the SQL. So that is the SQL, all right? And then let's run this one. So I'm just setting the format and I'm saying, okay, so these are the, I'm saying what are the top selling. So I say show SQL, then it will show you what is the SQL for answering these queries. All right. So if you want to know, actually, so let's see here. So let's see if you want to just know what this SQL looks like. So you can paste it here and you can say format it just to see better. So this is the kind of SQL that you generated. You see this? And if you run this SQL, you'll get the same result basically. So that's what this one is. All right. So you got that. Then now let's load the embedding model. So I have the embedding model. Actually, this is available. We downloaded from Hugging Face, and I basically uploaded this here, and this is how you will be loading the model. So you just copy this, the embedding model script, and you just run this. I mean, you can review the script later, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to be running the script. So run this. All right. So this is just a demo. So for the hello word, what is the embedding model? So if you run this, this is the vector representation. So it's pretty long list of numbers. So that is a vector representation of text. That's called embedding. All right. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create these tables that I was talking about in the presentation. All these metadata tables, right? So I'm starting with GenAI, a configuration table, and then the docs table and so on. And I'm also creating a bunch of triggers. You can review this, but for now, just copy this entire code and so paste it here. You can run this script. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I need to select the entire script actually. That's what I didn't do. So let's go all the way down. This is repeatable, so I can go all the way to the bottom. I can run it as many times as I want. So this is what it is. So see, now everything should be fine. If I run this next time, it should say, yep, it should run cleanly. First time when you run, some of those tables are not there. So when I try to drop, it throws an error. But next time when you rerun, so the tables are already there, so you're recreating them. So that's what that one is. Then next thing you do is create. So there are a bunch of procedures I'm creating, right? So you copy this. You can review this code later. So that one, then I can vectorize those documents this way. So if you run this procedure, it's going to actually vectorize the document. So either you can run this, or I'm going to show you how to do it using an application also. But anyway, we can run this. So I'm saying, hey, this is a procedure you execute, and in this document, in this particular folder, whatever are the documents, you just vectorize them. So that's what this procedure is going to do. It just takes a few seconds for that. So that is done. Then if you just say, select start from doc chunks, it's going to list actually all the vector representation of the doc. So in this particular doc that I uploaded, it has got, I didn't show you what the document looks like. Actually, just very quickly, let me show you. That's this document. So this is just a simple document. There are two people, John Doe and Joe Smith. Basically, just listed all the skills that they have. So that's what this one is. So these are this is the document chunks and the corresponding vector representation. You see this one? So that's what, so that script did. Basically, it created the vector representation for that, okay? So now back to the script, I'm going to ask the LLM, actually, what I'm doing here is I'm just creating a procedure here. So the function ask LLM. So when I ask the string, the LLM string is going to be passed, and then it's going to call the LLM with this passed string and along with this profile, and it's going to basically chat means it's like chat GPT. So that's what I'm creating this procedure. All right. Now I need to select this procedure actually. Control A. Okay, so I'm going to create that function. Then I'm creating, during the presentation, I talked about enterprise data, right? I talked about a table called employee table. So here I'm creating the employee table and along with the profile column with 4,000 characters. And I'm creating a trigger. I mean, I suggest you go through this later to understand what I'm doing. And so basically you just copy this entire column all the way to this and just paste it here, right? And you run this. You can review this. Does not exist. So I guess I didn't copy this whole thing. So, okay, so let me copy all the way from top to the bottom. All right, so let me, now it should work actually. Yeah. All right. Again, this is repeatable, so you can run it multiple times. So that's done. And then you have, if you want to, for some reason, you want to drop all the chunks, so you can execute this procedure. Now, if you want to test the LLM, right, you can say, you remember we created a function called ask LLM. So we can just run this, right, over the product managers. So just run this. So basically, what it's going to do is actually it's going to do a retrieval augmented generation. I will show you this when I load the Apex application. It will be easy to understand at that time. So just hold for a second. So this is what the response it gives you. All right. So that's just a quick test. but I will also show you through an Apex application. So now let's load the Apex application. So here, you remember we copied the Apex link. So go to the, go to the beginning. So here we have the Apex link. So copy that and let's go here and paste it here. So now within the database, we are going to create a workspace. And when to create the workspace, it asks for the password of the admin user. So you remember this was the admin user password. So just copy this and paste it here. Now say create the workspace with an existing schema. Yes, the schema is going to be vector and the workspace name is vector. And we will use the same vector username and the password is going to be the same, like whatever password I have here. So just do that. So it's going to create a workspace within that, okay? So the workspace is created. Now you just log out and log in as the vector user. Oh, sorry. Vector and the password is that same password we have. Sign in. So now what you do is you can build applications, right? You can create applications and so on. But what I did is actually instead of doing all that from scratch, you can application builder, go to Apex. I have to, okay. Oh, I got an import. Yeah, this is what I was trying to do. I already have an application, which I'm going to share with you. So let me just go here. So I'm going to give you a copy of this for the Apex application. You can simply import and try to understand what I'm trying to do in that. So just here, next, install this application. So now run the application. So the vector user and the password I already entered. So now sign in. So this is what the application looks like actually. So if you want to upload documents, actually you can do through this application, this interface also. So it's very simple. For example, if you want to upload that file, right? You remember? So you can just drag and drop here and say upload here. And that application will show here, that document will show here. Now, if you want to delete this, actually, there's a hyperlink to this. I can click, I say, I want to delete this. Yes. So it's a very simple application. I thought I'll show you. So go back to this home page. So vectorize the documents. So after, so these are the documents that we already vectorized. You remember I ran a function, I executed a function to vectorize this document. But if you want to remove this, actually it allows you to, you can delete this row and save it. So when you do that, all the vector representations will be gone for that. Actually, before that, let me just cancel it out. So you see the vector, leave this, yes. So these are the vector representations of all the documents that we uploaded. So that's what you see here. This is the, this is for the employee table, right? All the employee details. So in that employee table, we had that data, right? So if you want to know what that employee table contains, so this is what it is. So these are the bunch of rows that we inserted, and this is the employee profile, all right? So that's what this one is. So you can modify this, and you modify this automatically, the uh, the chunking of the data changes. So if you tomorrow if you want to add some new data for testing, you can use this application. By the way, so that's what this one is. So going back here, so these are the documents that we have. But if you want to remove or add some documents, you can do that. For example, you can remove this if you just want to uh, delete that row and save it. So all the uh, chunks that were created will be deleted by the vector representation. So you can add a row and you can go here and there is a pop-up list, see this document, and then you can say save. So when you do that, actually it creates all the vector representations. So this is the size of the file, and you can go back here and you can see the chunks. So you can go back to the bottom somewhere here. You should see this one? This is the document for which the chunks were created. So it creates multiple chunks. So it creates multiple chunks of the document, and for each chunk, it creates a vector representation. So that's what it is, and you can do a RAG chat here. So you can ask questions now, right? So for example, what was the question that we want to ask? So I've got a demo here. So you can say, hey, who are my, uh, right? You can say, compare Joe Smith and other product managers and generate a report. So you can do that. You can say, yes, I want to, uh, I'm not, yeah, if I don't check this, it's like just you're using the database as a pass through. You're asking the LLM directly this question. So it will use the uh, LLM without any context. Whereas when you submit with the RAG, you see what happens. All right. Just say, uh, uh, you know, uh, compare this Joe Smith and these people. So let's see what it does. Error processing. Sure what went wrong. Let's see this. It was working, but I don't understand what could be the problem. If this, back chat. If I just say, please, okay, all right. I just don't understand. Let me pause this for a second, then figure it out. Okay, I realized the mistake. So there was one tab I missed, create prompt function. So that's the mistake. So I'm going to just create this function. That function is used in in the in that Apex application. So let me just copy this. So let me do this. So now my application should work just fine. So let me go back here. All right, so now let's go back to the demo. So in a rush, I just forgot that. So let's see this one, right? Okay, so I'm going to compare this. Say, hey, just give me answer for this. Let's see. So now it's working. So that's what it is. Takes a few seconds. It's a small database, by the way. And then it comes with the answer. Now I want to show you something interesting. After the response comes, see, based on, so now this is the answer that it gave you, right? Uh, Now this is the context it uses. Actually, this is the prompt. Uh, See, this is the prompt that it used, all right, from the employee table and also the uh, other table, all right. So based on that, it's giving you this comparison, all right. Uh, now, now what we do is we can also actually, let me just run this query. Yeah, maybe this will be a better example. We are comparing the skills of the product managers. It was thinking even Joe Smith and John Doe, it thinks they're also product managers because of the skills. So this is another one. So you remember we had an employee table with multiple people. So it is giving this. Now, there is a function called create the prompt. So this says, this is the prompt that is passed to the LLM. Basically, it says, hey, answer the following question uh, using the context provided. So this is essentially, we are not just asking this question, but we're also providing, we are not just asking this question, but we're also providing this context. And based on the context, it gives you the response. So that's what this application does. All right. So you can try out different things and let me know if you have any questions. Uh, I have my provided by contact information. So hopefully this was helpful. Uh, and as I said, you can change the name wherever you see yellow fields, they can be changed. All right. So I gave you all the instructions here. Uh, so uh, that's what this one is. Okay. Thank you, and you have a good day. Bye bye.